When I was 23, I took a temporary security job at a massive distribution center outside Davenport, Iowa. The place wasn't a traditional warehouse. It served as a shipping hub for multiple companies that stored electronics, medical supplies, and industrial equipment before transportation. The building stretched across several acres. Inside, endless rows of shelving reached nearly to the ceiling, stacked with crates and shrink-wrapped pallets. At night, there were always 2 guards assigned. One monitored the exterior grounds from a patrol vehicle, while the other walked the interior. Everyone preferred the outside assignment. The inside patrol meant spending 10 hours alone in a building so large that parts of it felt abandoned even during business hours. One Thursday night, I drew the short straw. Around midnight, I started my first patrol route. The building was quiet except for the hum of ventilation fans and the occasional creak of metal shelving settling under weight. Back then, the security system was outdated. There were only a handful of cameras covering the main intersections of the warehouse. Most areas depended entirely on physical patrols. About 40 minutes into my shift, I was walking along a narrow aisle between storage racks when I noticed something strange near the far end. At first, it looked like a white object sticking out from behind a stack of crates. I slowed down. The thing remained perfectly still. Because of the distance, I couldn't tell exactly what I was looking at. Then it moved. The white shape suddenly vanished behind the crates. My stomach tightened immediately. It looked exactly like someone peeking around the corner. I started walking faster. By the time I reached the end of the aisle, whatever I'd seen was gone. I stood there, listening. Nothing. No footsteps, no voices, no sounds except the building itself. I radioed the guard outside. He answered immediately and said he was conducting a vehicle check near the loading docks. Definitely not inside. That answer made me even more uneasy. I continued searching. Several minutes later, I reached a cross aisle near the rear section of the warehouse. That's when I saw it again. Only this time, it was closer. A face pale, unnaturally pale, just barely visible from behind a pallet stack. The person stared at me for 2 seconds before slowly withdrawing from sight. I froze. The expression wasn't normal. The face looked almost sickly, as though the person hadn't seen daylight in months. I radioed my partner again. He said he'd come inside immediately. While waiting, I forced myself to approach. Every instinct told me not to. But if there was an intruder, it was literally my job to investigate. The farther I went, the stronger a foul smell became. At first I thought it might be spoiled inventory. Then the odor intensified into something much worse. Rotting, sour, almost impossible to describe. I followed it toward a large wooden shipping crate that sat separate from the others. The smell seemed to be coming directly from it. My hands were shaking when I lifted the lid. I wish I hadn't. Inside was a human body. The victim was lying on their side in a pool of dried blood. The head was missing. For several seconds, my brain couldn't process what I was seeing. Then panic took over. I dropped the lid and sprinted. I radioed my partner while running and shouted for him to call emergency services. By the time I reached an exit door, I was struggling to breathe. Outside, I threw up beside the loading dock. Within minutes, police cars flooded the property. Investigators spent the entire night processing the scene. The warehouse became a crime scene before sunrise. The strangest part came days later. Detectives reviewed security footage from the previous night. For nearly 4 hours, every camera covering the area where the body was discovered had stopped recording. Not malfunctioned, not damaged. The footage simply wasn't there. No explanation was ever found. The case remained unsolved. And even now, more than 20 years later, I still remember that pale face disappearing behind the pallets. Sometimes I wonder if the killer was still inside the building when I found the body, and sometimes I wonder if the thing I saw wasn't peeking around the corner at all. Maybe it was watching me the entire time,